Yo, what is up makers? My name is Jack Daly, and in this little video I'm going to be talking about how to change your filament. So obviously I've got some filament that needs to be changed, and I'm going to change it on my Zone Star ZA, and I've just got to show you how to really maintain your 3D printer, because the one thing that I've noticed about filament is that if you leave it here it tends to break, and obviously because of the AC and everything you've got it in a room because it's not getting enough moisture. So whenever you're not using it, for example, if you're not using it for like 3 days and you know you're not using it for 3 days, then be sure to just take out your filament. It is really easy and you don't lose filament as well. So be sure to take it out and then store it away inside somewhere closed, or some people have made humid boxes where basically you put the PLA in there and then they know it's got enough moisture because it's an enclosed space and everything. So let's just jump right in. So I've got my little camera, handheld camera here, and that's just so I can take you behind here and I can show you what's going on. So the first thing you need to do is obviously take this roll off. Now in my case, the filament snapped and it's broken into little pieces in this part. So I'm going to have to obviously change that. And here you can see there's meant to be a piece of PLA going up round here. In fact, let me get my camera. Let me record. So there's supposed to be a piece of PLA that's meant to go up, and it's meant to go in here. If I move that wire, it's meant to go in there, but it isn't, and it broke off, and I actually threw it in the bin. So what I'm going to have to do is, firstly I'm going to have to take this off, and I think we'll do that right now. First thing I'm going to need is my screwdriver. So if I get my screwdriver and I come around here, and I just place this in, see that if I just take this screw off, I can take off the cap. So now that that is screwed off, so now that that little end cap here is screwed off, I can actually take this off. If you can see here, take that right off. So now, and there's the filament spew, and as you can see I've not got much filament in there, but here you can see I have this white little cap thing, and if I just push that out, then that just helps me centralize it, because if it wasn't, then it would be hanging off like that, and I don't really like that. So I 3D printed something for that. So you might not have this, but if you do, then it's really helpful. So for this, I can just put one side, chuck on the floor, and then you want to unbox. This might be an unboxing video or whatever. You want to unbox your filaments. So it's quite simple. Just lift it up, take it out, and so now I've got my filament roll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little thing and I'm going to just slap it in there. And now here's a little tip. The filament end, the start of the filament, is always going to be plugged into some of these holes. So when you're storing your filament, what you can actually do, I don't know if you can see that right there, or this might be unfocused, but you can see that that's actually just gone around there. And this is easy for storing, so you can just undo it and then done. So you can see there's some all around it. So now what we want to do is we want to check to make sure that I've got my little thing the right way around. So actually this is meant to go this way, and we want the start of it to come from the bottom, because obviously when it's going to be located on here, we just put that on here now, in the tube. So when that's actually on the tube, we want the filament to run underneath it, because it's then got to be taken up by the motor, and it obviously goes through all of this. So now that we've put that on, we need to then screw back the end cap on, and I'll quickly do that. I won't show you this time because it's quite simple. Okay, so the filament is on, and you just want to make sure it's running nice and smoothly, and here we can see the start, it's going to go down. So what you want to do now is, now that you've fitted on, before you connect anything, you want to make sure that you've actually got this filament out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. You then want to go to settings, so you click on it, and then you want to go to quick settings. You then want to go, and then you have two options. You have one called change filament, and that's the one that we want obviously, but before we do that, we want to do something called Preheat PLA. Now the material that I've got in at the moment is PLA. So what I do is I'll click on that, and now you can see it's actually preheating the extruder, it's preheating the bed. Now we don't need it to preheat the bed, we just need it to preheat the extruder. And what this will allow us to do is it will allow us to then easily just take it out, because it will already be warm and the PLA will already be malleable, so it'll be easy to take out. So I'll just wait for that to heat up. Okay, so the extruder is now at the right temperature, so now what we want to do is now we want to click on the button, quick settings, and then we want to go to change filament. And what this will mean is, you can see it's already doing some stuff. And what this means is, if we bring it back here, we can see some extruding, some PLAs actually come out. So what we want to do is we want to take out the tube. Now to do this, to take out the white tube, what you want to do is you want to get each end, so where it touches, so here you have one blue end here, and you have one blue end here, and you want to press down on it with one finger, and then with the other hand, even though I'm holding the camera, you want to then take out the tube. So what I'll do is I'll put the camera down and I'll just do that. So here you can see, so push down on the blue thing, and then take out the tube. Okay, so I've just taken off one end, now I'm going to have to take off the other end, and here you can see I've actually got some PLA. So if I show that here, so I've taken off the tube from here, and now you can see I've got the PLA. So now we want to do it to the other end, so I'll quickly do that now. And then you can see that's just come right off. As you can see here, I let it go and it's actually just fallen off. That's because there's still, the PLA is actually broken inside. So if we just remove that, we can see we've got some PLA. So now you can see I've taken that out, and now the whole system is clear from PLA. So now this is where we then put our PLA. So what you want to do is you want to go to the end here, and you can see that we just want to take it out. So once you've got the end right, what you want to do is you want to put it in that little hole there. So let me just do that now. So once I put it in, you can see that as much as I put it in, it won't go in anymore. That's because there's a gear. So this is where this comes into play. So once we twist this, when we twist it, the filament is actually taken by the gear. As much as I'm twisting it, it's not coming up at the end. So what we need to do is we actually need to take this little golden bit off, just unscrew it, it'll be fine, and then screw it, and wait for it so you can actually get a little bit. Here you can see I've got some PLA coming through at the moment. So I want to do it about 5 inches or 50 mil or whatever. So once I've done that, you just want to pop it on like that, and then put it through and then screw it in. So once you've screwed that in, what you want to do is you want to get your little pipe and you want to put it through PLA, hold down the blue bit and put it back on, making sure it's on tight. And now you can see the PLA is in here, and the tube's in the blue thing. So now what you want to do is you want to hold this end, holding it like this, and you want to keep spinning this until the filament comes through. Okay, so the filament has reached the other end of the tube, and now we just want to make it about an index finger long. I'm not sure how you say that, but we'll just put it out a bit more, just so then we can actually put it into the extruder and push it in a bit to make sure it's actually receiving it. So what you want to do is you want to put the filament in, and you want to make sure it's in, then you want to push it down a bit. You want to push it in until you feel this cushy feeling, and that's when the PLA has reached the hot end and it's actually being received. Now if I get my other camera, you should be able to see that the filament's actually coming through as I push it. Now this is great, so you want to keep pushing that until you're happy with it. So I'm happy, you know, seems like the filament's coming through alright. Then what you want to do is you want to, in the other direction, take the filament in, and you should see that the tube is actually moving down as I do this. So you want to do that until it's securely, slip that in, now have your new filament in, and you want to click when you're done. This will reset it to home, make sure everything's correct. Now it's done, and it automatically produces a bit, just so you know that you've done it correctly. And I'd say I'm happy with that. So that's a success. We have successfully changed the filament on our 3D printer. Now all settings should be the same for each printer, it's just where you find them and all. So I hope you enjoyed this little short video on how to change your filament. This is absolutely key to maintaining your 3D printer, so then the filament doesn't crack here. So I might print for 5 hours, and then if I know I'm not going to be printing for another 5 days, then I might say okay, and then take out the filament, store it in somewhere where I know it's going to be nice and moist, and then I'll be good to go the next time I print. It's really easy, really simple. Once you get the hang of it, it's really quite easy to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little short video on how to maintain your 3D printer. Feel free to check me out on Instagram. I just made my own Facebook page and group. And yeah, go check out my other YouTube videos here and wherever. Thank you for watching. See you later.